I'm just gonna rant a little bit. Black teas do not have more caffeine than green teas. Period. Black tea and green tea come from the same damn plant. Imagine a happy little tea bush. Now pluck all the leaves off that bitch. It's dead now. We're moving on. Separate the leaves evenly into two piles. One gets produced into black tea by bruising and oxidizing. One gets produced into green tea by steaming and oven drying. Which tea has more caffeine? The answer is that they both have the same amount of caffeine. It's obvious, right? Here are 5 things that actually do cause some teas to have more caffeine than others. But first, why do tea plants produce caffeine? It's because caffeine is a bug repellent. Bugs smell caffeine and nope right the fuck out of there. Here are the things that do affect caffeine in tea. Number 1, farm elevation. Tea grown on top of mountains has less caffeine than teas grown at low elevation. Low elevation means warm weather, which means more bugs, which means more caffeine. Number 2, leaf size. The 2-leaf buds at the tip have the most caffeine. Growing tea leaves underneath have less, and fully mature leaves, the big chonkers at the bottom, have the least amount of caffeine. Again, because bugs tend to go after the tender greens, those need the most caffeine. Distant third. Different varietals and cultivars produce slightly different amounts of caffeine. Number 1 and number 2 matter much more. Number 4, the longer you leave the tea in the hot water, the more caffeine you end up with in your brew. Easy enough. Number 5, broken up leaves release caffeine more quickly into water. Stuff like Lipton or breakfast teas are made with tea dust, also known as fannings. But tea bags don't have more caffeine than whole leaf tea. It just leaches out faster. That's it. Those are all the reasons I know of that affect the level of caffeine in your tea. So what tea has the most caffeine? Easy. Matcha. Matcha is a shade-grown, medium elevation green tea that's been destemmed, deveined, and ground into a very, very fine powder. When you drink a cup of matcha, you're drinking the whole damn leaf. Matcha has almost the same amount of caffeine as coffee per ounce. Sometimes even more, but usually a little less. In theory, what kind of tea would have the second most amount of caffeine? Probably white tea fannings, grown from a low elevation farm, left in the teapot for like 20 fucking minutes. Alright, time out. Yes, black teas are typically made from Assamica, grown on low elevation farms to maximize yield, and are chopped into fannings using the crush tear curl method, CTC, before being bagged and sent over to you. So I guess they kinda do have more caffeine. But I'm still tilted because being oxidized is one of the only reasons that doesn't contribute to black tea having more caffeine in it. Why did I even make this video? Nobody cares about my hot tea takes.